1/2-inch plywood is ideal for this project because of strength. I have a piece of 1/4-inch plywood here that was leftover scrap, so I'll just be laminating this together to essentially create 1/2-inch plywood. Now with my plywood cleaned and squared up, I now have to cut strips out of this for the height of the spice bottle. So I have to cut a bunch of strips at 3¼ inches. For assembly, I'm going to need half notches on all of these pieces, which basically means there's a notch going halfway across the width of all of these planks. And now there's a trick for finding that half height. Of course, we know it's 1 5/8 inches if I did my math correctly on that, but it's a lot easier just by slowly raising the saw blade. What I'm doing here is cutting one side, I flip the board over, and then I cut that side. I see how much is left over at the end of the board, and then I can raise up my saw blade, rinse and repeat, and eventually I get the perfect cut right down the middle. That way later on, when all of these pieces fit together with the half notches, it'll all be nice and flush. Now for determining distance between all of the notches, all I have to do is measure the width of the bottle I'm working with here, of course adding a little bit extra on top of that. Now for cutting out the notches, option 1, of course without a dado stack, is just using a table saw with a normal saw blade and taking multiple passes. This works fine. It's not as efficient, of course, as actually using a dado stack, so that's what I'm showing here. This is far easier to be accurate with the width of all of the notches, so this of course is a really great option. Now a trick for spacing in between the notches, use a scrap piece and you can move your fence over, line up the opening there with the end of the scrap piece, line up the fence, and you're golden for the next cut. Something I should mention is that this is a modular design, so for assembly it's whatever you want it to be. I'm making a couple different designs here. One is a crisscross, and then the other is just a normal rectangle. Something that's really helpful is if you cut out different types of sizes, different lengths of these boards, because that can help you with different types of patterns.